This podcast may contain forward-looking statements that are subject to risks and uncertainties. These forward-looking statements are based on current expectations and may differ materially from actual future events or results due to a variety of factors. For a discussion of factors that could affect our business, please refer to our filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission. All of our statements are made as of today based on information currently available to us. We can give no assurance that these statements will prove to be correct, and we do not intend and undertake no duty to update these statements except as required by law. Welcome to the Enovix Journey to Scale podcast for Thursday, September 21st, 2023. I'm Kristen Atkins, Vice President of Marketing and Communications. On this podcast, we'll talk to Enovix leaders in management to gain insights and details on the company's progress to build and manufacture a breakthrough in lithium-ion batteries to power the technologies of the future. In this episode, we're joined by Enovix President and CEO, Dr. Raj Talluri, to discuss this week's news of the acquisition of Routejade, a well-established coating and battery pack manufacturing company based in South Korea. Hi, Raj. How are you today?
Hi, Kristen. Great. Thank you.
Well, it's an exciting day at Enovix. Can you walk us through your rationale for this acquisition?
Yeah, we are super excited that we are able to get this acquisition of Routejade. Routejade is a company based in Korea, and the main reason for this acquisition is really to get Enovix to be a little bit more vertically integrated on our journey to scale. Routejade has been a supplier for us in coating electrodes. For those in the audience that don't know too much about coating, the way this works is we at Enovix are a material agnostic company, which means we buy different kinds of electrodes, different kinds of cathodes, different kinds of anodes, different electrolytes, and put them together in our unique architecture to produce a very high energy density battery. To do that, these anodes and cathodes we buy typically come as powders. So we then have to mix these powders in a slurry and then coat this on top of thin metal foils. And then we cut, those are the electrodes we get in like rolls. Then we cut them into little thin electrodes and stack them to make the battery. Now, we did not have this capability to coat this anode and cathode material on top of this material, this kind of metal strips to make electrodes. We were using third parties to do this before. These third parties coat these materials for you, but they charge you premium, and that is coming out of our margin. And the other problem is the time. It takes a long time to get the capacity at these third parties, which are in the industry referred as toll coaters, to actually get the coating done. That was causing a lot of delay in our ability to try new materials and manufacture our batteries, and also costing us in gross margin. So by acquiring Routejade, we now have our own ability to coat, and coating becomes integral to us. Almost every successful battery company has their own coating, and this is one more step in their journey to scale for us to acquire our own coating capability by acquiring Routejade.
Okay, so last week we talked to Ajay about the company's manufacturing timeline. So you're saying that with this acquisition, it's going to speed up our time to market. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we are now building a manufacturing line in Malaysia, as you know, which we call our Gen 2 line. In that, our initial plan was to buy these coated rolls and then using Zone 1, as Ajay mentioned, to cut them into little strips. Now, what we'll be able to do is actually just buy the anode material and cathode material directly from those suppliers, coat them ourselves in this Routejade facility, and then we're able to send it to Malaysia to do it. So it cuts that lead time in terms of buying the anode material, sending it to coating supplier, waiting for them to coat it. We don't always get the lead times we want in that. So that step can be now compressed. And also, more importantly, the cost of our battery goes down, because before we were paying margin to those coating suppliers. Now we don't have to pay that margin because this coating actually belongs to us.
So it will save costs in the long run too.
Exactly.
Terrific. Is there anything unique about Routejade's coating technique?
It's not unique, but every coating is a little bit different based on the material you use. Like, for example, if we change the anode we use and get a different kind of anode, different silicon anode, for example, that has different properties, higher energy density, and so on, it needs to be coated in a particular way. So whenever we change the material stack, we have to change how you coat them, how you mix them, how you coat them, how you calendar them, and so on. And having your own coating capability helps you adapt to all those different materials quickly. That's kind of like the main advantage. Now, there's another advantage we do get with Routejade. Many times we make cells, but some customers don't like to buy cells directly. They like to buy cells in packs. So, a bunch of cells in a pack is something you can call a battery. Like sometimes you put 2 cells, I don't know, maybe 1 cell, 3 cells, whatnot, but to increase the energy density. But inside a pack are these cells, but also some power electronics to manage the cell correctly. We did not have the capability to make packs. We were also relying on third parties to make packs for us before we ship to some customers who actually want packs. Routejade has a capability, very smart capability to be able to make packs. Now we can use that facility as part of this acquisition to make our own packs from both Routejade made graphite cells and also our own, silicon anode cells. So we can use that facility for both.
So it will also give us a revenue advantage with developing pack expertise internally.
Exactly. And be able to expand the markets into which we can sell, because some of those markets we're not able to sell to because we don't have the pack capability. We have to rely on another third party to make the pack.
Okay. Well, is there anything else we should know about Routejade?
Well, they are a fantastic company that have been making batteries for over 20 years. So we actually get good revenue from them. They actually sell graphite batteries, not silicon batteries like us, but they do sell graphite batteries. And we said a run rate of about $18 million for this year, which adds to our top line. And they're actually, good company. Their gross margins are in line with the industry, and they run a very tight operation, very cost effective in Korea. So that also helps us get our revenue. And the other thing is the places where they're selling, broadly they're selling into IoT markets, and they're selling into the Korean military. And those markets now are also open to us, and we can then go cross-sell our silicon batteries on top of their graphite batteries. So we get reach into a new customer base and also into this Korean military that we can potentially sell in the future. The other very interesting thing about their batteries is that they have the ability to make batteries that are not just rectangular or cylindrical. They can actually make very different size batteries and shaped batteries. For example, they can make batteries that go into headsets, earpods and so on. So we can use that capability to actually now sell those batteries into other markets which we couldn't reach before with our constraint system. So wow. many advantages. So super excited by this acquisition.
Yeah, absolutely. So supports scale up, lowers costs, speeds up R&D, and grows Enovix footprint.
Exactly.
That concludes our second Journey to Scale podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want more detail on the acquisition, we have a recording of our investor call, including Q&A with Raj, our CFO, and our COO at youtube.com/Enovix. Be sure to subscribe for alerts. We'll be releasing new episodes as we reach new milestones and scale up to high volume manufacturing. Until then, thank you and have a great day.